everybody. Today in this soulful conversation, I am joined with three beautiful ladies that are going to come and talk about their own journey into going into business from their heart, from their soul, and bringing the whole of who they are in their business, because it is what it's about. It's about weaving the 3D with the 6D. It's about getting guidance, but not just keeping the guidance for yourself. It's about taking everything that you know from what you've learned in your humanness and bringing it forth into the business with your soul so that it works for you here in the 3D. And before we start, if you do not know me, my name is Dominique. I am an energy conductor, a soul map guide, and I translate the messages that I get from above so that it works here in the 3D for your business. And I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves. And we're going to start with Carrie.
Well, thank you, Dominique. My name is Carrie Mitten. I'm the founder of Uplevel Your Life Consulting. I am an intuitive women's empowerment coach, and I help women step into their greatness, eliminate any limiting beliefs or self-sabotaging behaviors, and really tap into their divine nature. And I use many different techniques to do that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Elizabeth, it's your turn.
Thank you. I'm Elizabeth Planson, and I'm an intuitive manifestation mentor, soulpreneur, activator, and healer. And so I work with mostly women, but I have worked with men as well, who have this big soul-led mission on their heart, and they aren't really sure how to step into it or how to start, or they've tried and have started their business, and they're not making the impact that they desire to make. And so I help them by activating their full potential, their gifts, their power, their purpose, and really mentoring them to take their lives and their business to the next level.
That's awesome. How about you, Janet?
Hi, I'm Janet Sandberg. I am a soul interpreter, divine channel, Reiki master teacher, intuitive life coach, and author. And we're all in good company here doing very similar things in different ways. And I help people connect to their soul or their higher selves to get rid of all the chaos and confusion that they feel so that they can find clarity and confidence. And especially after big life transitions where they're trying to figure out, like, who am I in this new phase of life, and be able to go from there into a life and or business that is guided by their soul's purpose and passions.
That is beautiful. I love everything that you guys are and what you bring to this world. And you, listener, when you're listening to this, if you feel the urge to connect with any of the speakers, you have all the handles right here in the corner. And we're going to start today by talking about the initial stage, when we start those soul-led business. And we're going to all answer the same question to make sure that we go into depth into this. But reflecting on the early days of your soul-led business, what were some of the key hurdles that you encountered while trying to balance your spiritual principles with business realities? Because they do exist. Let's talk about them. We live on the 3D. We live here. This is where we work. So the life is still going to happen, whether you're connected or not. But how are we at the beginning balancing all of that? And how do we navigate this? And we're going to just keep the same flow here. We're going to start with Carrie.
Well, thinking back on my early days, I really there was a dichotomy. There was a struggle between my humanness and my divineness, right? And I had been so ingrained in navigating life on the human plane that it was quite a struggle to tap into the place where all answers are, where all solutions are, where all ideas are. And I thought I knew better. I thought I knew it all. And so really once I recognized that, I am both. I am both human and spirit. But I also knew that the power inside of me is far greater than the external things in life, that I really recognized how I needed to tap into that divine nature. And and the world was telling me how to run my business. The world was telling me that I should do this and I should do this and I should do this. And all of a sudden I got this divine inspiration to stop shitting on myself and just go with what my soul was calling for, what my soul was telling me, where I could find the principles and the tools and the flow and all of those things. And really, once I recognized that, then my business started to open up, and there was no more of this push energy, this I have to, I need to. It was more of I get to, I deserve to. This is part of my birthright. This is why I'm here on this earth. I was in corporate America for 25 years, and constantly, juggling and trying to find where I fit, and I wasn't fitting in that mold of the corporate life, and I couldn't figure out why, and there was such a struggle, and once I stepped out of corporate, and that's another story to be told another day, but my soul opened up. And I was able to listen to the whispers that had been there all along. And so I encourage people who are looking to have a soul-led business to really let it be a soul-led business. You are going to have this human journey, and the challenges that we face are just part of your curriculum. And know that every challenge comes for a learning or a growth. And so
Yeah.
I really believe that that's some of the hurdles that I had early on was really just the struggle between my human nature and my divine nature, and really letting go of old things that on the human side of my nature that didn't serve me any longer. So
That's beautiful. I want to highlight this. If you're listening today, if you want to have a soul-led business, let it be a soul-led business. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this, Elizabeth? This beautiful question.
Yeah, so for me, it really was learning to trust my gifts and my abilities, right? And really be confident in them, and that this is like what I'm meant to do full time, right? I also was in a corporate style job, and decided to make a career change because I felt this pull for more, right? And I think that's what many of us feel, like this pull to be in service in some bigger way and to make an impact in this world. And it can be scary, right? And then a lot of times it's like, well, what is that? But also allowing it to transform over time and to grow and expand. Because when I first started my quest of my big purpose, it was not what I thought it was not what I'm doing now, right? I have grown and expand over the years since I've started my soul-led business, right? And stepping into my purpose. And I think even still, it's like when you get that nudge to kind of shift a little and pivot, it's that trust, right? Like really trusting those intuitive hits that you're getting and the path that you're being called to follow. And that's what tapping into spirituality is such a big part of having a soul-led business, is trusting that path is being shown to you to help you get there. And as Carrie was saying, it's like a journey, right? It's like a little bit of a journey. It's not like we have this calling and we're going to be shown everything all at once, because our bodies wouldn't be able to handle it, right? Our humanness wouldn't be able to handle it, and would just freak out and quit and be like, I give up, I can't do this. So really too, also not giving up, right? In the early days, you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. There's so much to learn about running my own business. And there's all these things, and you compare, it's easy to compare yourself. And so I invite you to drop that comparison too, right? Because everyone starts somewhere. And so while you may not be at this level of someone else that's been in it for a long time, and I think that's what people with social media don't talk about enough, right? Like how they got there and what their background was. They just talk about their results they're getting right now, but they don't talk about the background they had in marketing or the background they had in sales. And that's why they're so good at it. And it's so easy for them, right? Like there's all these things that you don't really know if you're comparing yourself to other people. So I invite you to stop that, right? Immediately. And just know that you are on your own path and your own journey, and it's just perfect as it should. And as Carrie also was saying, I think was, the shoulding, right? Like people are saying, well, you have to have this, you have to have that. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything. You want to do what feels good and aligned in your body. Because I think that's when you could have all the strategies in the world and the best strategies that got someone 100K months. But if your energetics are not, in alignment for you, it's not really going to work. So those are kind of things that I've learned over, my journey so far as a soul-led entrepreneur.
Yeah, and it's very important, the shoulds, right? When you hear in your head the word should, there is a disempowerment. You're giving all your power to something outside of you because you're shoulding the path. You're shoulding the journey. So coming back to yourself. And I know, Janet, you said that you are a channeler. So coming back to yourself for you, and correct me if I'm wrong, while you're navigating the 3D and the 6D is also like being energetically aligned so that you can also receive very clear messages from the divine. So how did you, there's a lot of healers in my audience, so people that are just starting to hear messages, or they know that their business will be guided from whatever they put their power in, but the power is all within, right? I mean, it starts from within you. So like if we go back to this question, like your soul-led business has key hurdles because it is in the 3D, but you're completely led by the 6D. So how did you navigate that?
So my history is a little bit different than Carrie and Elizabeth, because I never worked in corporate ever. When I started my business, I was going through a major life transition, and I had just separated from my now ex-husband. And that was an emotionally and otherwise abusive marriage. I was a full-time mom. And then suddenly I was a full-time single mom to a couple of tweens. And I had left this marriage, and everything I had done up until that point was for other people. It was for my family. And in starting my business, I had to learn who I was all over again so that I could start this business and have it be successful. So my biggest hurdle was figuring out who I was grounding myself in who I was. And it was recovering and healing in order to raise my vibration so that I could connect better, so that I could receive those messages more clearly, so that I could do those things for myself that I knew would propel me forwards. So there was a lot of making time for me as part of my business strategy, was taking care of myself. It was going for Reiki and healing sessions. It was working with the right coach. I made the mistake of just working with a coach, and that did not go well. So working with the right coach who is also soul aligned and knew what I wanted from my business, from my life, from my spiritual journey, and really being able to navigate all of those things and bring them all together. And then as I healed and was more sure of myself, then that made, knowing the next step in business that much easier. It made connecting with spirit that much easier. It allowed my business to grow and evolve as I grew and evolved. And like Elizabeth said, you have to allow that in business because we're not the same people throughout time. We grow and evolve, and so should our business. Otherwise, it's just stagnant and it gets boring, and it doesn't allow us to be all of who we are in our businesses.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm very happy that you brought the complementary pieces that I was waiting for. Finding the right mentor, the right guide, right? So Carrie said, let your business be a soul-led business. And then Elizabeth said, your path is your own path. It's not because someone says you're going to make $10,000 in 4 months that it's going to happen. The energy, the frequency has to be there. And then you're talking about finding the right coach, the right person to be working with that works with you. And again, you have the handles of everybody here. If you feel called to call any of the speakers today, feel the call. Don't think the call, right? It's not a rational thing. It's not a logical thing. Finding the right mentor, yes, you want to investigate, are they really doing what they're saying? But it's all about the feeling. It's all about finding the right team that is going to help you go forward. We are not meant to do these things by ourselves. Definitely not. And this is why I love these panels, because we're all different, but we're all the same. We all say the same thing at the end of the day. Trust yourself, trust your soul, trust the universe, and everything will happen while aligned. I love this. Thank you so much. We can close now. We've answered everything. But we're going to go into another question. So what were some of the toughest moments of self-doubt? We all go into self-doubt. It will happen, like you said, Janet, as we grow. We grow for a reason. And as we grow, there's more things that come up. So what were some of the toughest moments of self-doubt that you experienced in the beginning of your business? Or I've been in business for a long time, so I've been going through this for a long time. You don't have to talk about the beginning, right? Maybe in your growth. But what's really important for me is that the audience gets some tangible. How did you manage to push through and stay motivated? And we're going to start with Carrie again.
Well, this is a beautiful question. However, it opens up some authenticity here, right? When I first became a coach, I just wanted to help people. I just wanted to serve people, make them feel really good about themselves. Help them to step into their greatness, all those types of things. But I wasn't doing it for myself. I thought I could just go out and I could just help other people, right? And boy, did I get a slap from the universe in the face, right? Like, Carrie, you have to you have to put your own oxygen mask on first, right? You have to fill your cup up first. And so then the self-doubt started coming, like, I'm not good enough. I can't do, I don't know what to do here. I don't know how to do that. And so what I did was I got myself a mentor. I got myself a coach. And I believe to this day that the best coaches are coached. That if we want to, we have to be the type of client that we want to have, right? And so I believe that I've invested, I don't even want to talk about it, the amount that I've invested in myself to grow myself as a person, as an individual, as a spirit-led business owner. And so then I ripple that out. That's an effect that I have on my business. But there's always self-doubt. There's always things that come up because we have this human side of our nature that has these limiting beliefs, these paradigms, this perception, right, that has been poured into us over and over and over. And we've all had life happen to us, right? And so if we don't know how to navigate those things, it can become part of our, our daily modus operandi, right? And so so really what I do to get past that is I stay in a system of support. I stay in a structure of support. I get mentorship. I have coaches. I have mentors. I have masterminds. I have, I learn from my clients, when my clients go through my programs, I'm going through it as well. because I want to stay in the study. I want to walk. I don't just want to talk the talk. I want to walk the walk. And so my clients respect that, and they really admire the fact that I am doing that with them, and learning things as I go. And I tell them all the time, I'm not perfect at this. I'm just one step ahead of you, maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead of you. But I have not arrived. I've recognized and realized that our human journey is a journey. It's not an arrival. We haven't just arrived. We are all constantly growing. We are constantly changing. And the one thing that I always, always, always do with my clients and myself is we create that North Star, that vision. What is it that you would love to have, do, give, be, create in your life? And it can be anything. Think big here, right? Use your creative gift of imagination. What is it? And I always tell them too, a goal is something that you make up. A dream is something that you're given. So what is your dream? What is your dream life? Because it's not about the things, it's not about the all the stuff. It's about who you become in the process of creating that vision, that dream. Right. And so I do that as well in everything I do. Even Dominique, in this session today, I always, every time I get on a session with a client or a podcast or a call or whatever it is, I create a little vision of what it is that I would love the end result to look like. Because
That's amazing.
If I don't know the end result, how do I know when I've arrived, when I've gotten there? How do I know that?
Yes.
Right. And so even though
Definitely.
sometimes it always doesn't work out perfectly the way that I would preferred, there's always a lesson and a learning in that. And so it's a good coach understands that we are all in this together, that everything, the content, my mentor says, the content of my life is the curriculum of my evolution. So I'm continuing to stay in the study. I continue to learn and grow and develop every day, creating those little mini visions every day. And then I have my long-term vision. But I'm learning to really, just lean into the fact that I'm on this human journey, and I have growth as well, right? So I think that's really important for solopreneurs to understand that, or soul-led entrepreneurs to understand, is that, you are on this journey with your client, not and for your client. You're forging ahead, but you're staying. You have to stay in some type of structure of support in order to support them at the highest level.
Yeah, for sure. And like you say, the vision is super important. The vision, the why will keep you motivated to go forward. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you for this answer. How about you, Elizabeth?
Yeah, so I've had a couple, as many of us do, self-doubt times when I started my business. First, when I was coming out as psychic and intuitive, like, what is everyone going to think of me, right? Like, I'd never talked about it before, but I always have been intuitive, but now I'm finally owning it, right? That was like one of my first doubts, but just knowing that I was given these gifts for a reason, and I can't, this is me stepping into my power. But most recently, I think it was last year when I was identifying as a manifestation and mindset coach, and because it had changed my life, like studying that material completely changed my life for the better. And I just wanted to spread that information with the world, but my business just was not as flourishing as much as I had hoped. And of course, I'm like, I'm a manifestation coach. Why can I not manifest my dream business? Like, what the heck? Like, this is crazy. And, as Carrie says, I usually do have some type of mentor, maybe I take a few months off here and there, but I had, started with my new mentor because we had gotten together, realizing that I had let all of my other gifts drop away. Like, I'm an energy healer, I'm a Reiki master, and I'm intuitive. And I was like ignoring that part of me. And so, realizing that I have all these gifts to put together to make this just amazing mentorship for my clients. And then discovering too that also I have light language. And that for me was another big, like, self-limit doubt kind of thing, like another time, if people are going to think I'm crazy, like, is this real? Like, am I really able to do this? And so really owning my gifts is something that I have learned to do, and over again as new gifts come out and I expand and grow. And so for me, what helps me, what pushes me through that to be able to do that is, again, just trusting in spirit, source, universe, God, whatever you resonate with. I use all of those terms interchangeably, that I was given these gifts. I was given this purpose for a reason. And like the ideas that come into your mind, these dreams, as Carrie said, are not for, just because, like, made up. They've been given to you from this higher power. And I truly believe at the right time, when you are ready to bring them into this 3D life, right? And so maybe, 2 years ago, I wasn't ready to be a light language activator, right? Where I activate people through my light language. And I wasn't ready to combine all of it. My body had to digest it in little pieces. But that's what keeps me going, and is really being of service, and knowing that I am, working through, like, God is working through me, right? And that is like why I do this, and I am this channel to help the world, right? And so if I'm not doing that, then I'm not fulfilling my purpose. And then what really is the point, right? We're here to expand and grow. And, I believe we are here to experience these things that God has given us these gifts for. And so this is what I help my clients with, is really expand on their gifts, on their purpose that they're meant to do. Because while we're all one and all connected, right? Like, we're all the same, doing different things in a different way, because our humanness may not resonate with what some other, person does. So I truly do, believe in that connection to something bigger than us, into your purpose, keeping that and reminding and being in service in your heart, right? Going back to that soul-led purpose, why you began with, and letting the money thing drop away, right? And if you do that, if you let the money drop away, it's good to have a goal, right? It's a measuring tool for sure, 100%. And that's what I taught, and I do teach my clients, like, what is it that you want to experience from what you're giving to the world? But just remembering, coming back to that place of service and that place of love and that place of purpose, and that the money will follow after that. It's when we get so hyper focused on what it is that we're like producing in this tangible world that actually causes resistance, right? And then we're out of alignment with our flow and being who we're meant to be. So that's kind of like how I stay motivated. And then, of course, yes, always, usually I have a mentor to help me in those moments of, self-doubt or, limiting beliefs that come up. I have someone to help, guide me back to my trueness, my oneness.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Guided back to your oneness, because I know that when you discover that you're a psychic, light language, and I know that for me, I don't know if it's the same thing happened to you. You want to explain where all these things are coming from.
Yeah.
But we can't explain it because it's just there. Janet, channeler. I don't know, Carrie, if you channel or anything like that. I believe everybody does.
Yeah.
But we hear it in all different ways, and trying to explain where it comes from, that creates doubt.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there. And let's use all our gifts, like you're saying. Let's just own them and work with them to not create doubt, but to create magic for us and for others, right?
Right. Our humanness and our ego wants to have that. This is where it comes from. It comes from planet, whatever planet is. I don't know where I'm from because I don't resonate. I don't identify like that. You know what I mean? Like, but we want to have like that as a human, like, to make it legit, right? Instead of just believing in this power that you do have and feeling it in
Yeah.
your soul.
Yeah. Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much. Janet, your turn now.
I think at the beginning of my business, I really didn't have any doubts. I was just like so excited, and like everything that I did was amazing because I was doing it, right? So I was learning so much, and all of it was so exciting, and I was getting clients, and it took several years for this self-doubt to come in. And I think that was when, the kids had gotten older and I was ready, and I had healed and I had gone through stuff, and I was ready for my business to up level. And then I started putting that pressure on myself to do more, to be more, to have more. And that was when I started doubting, oh, can I really do this? Like, can I take it to the next level? Can I, whatever? And that's, so it took several years for that to really sort of sink in. And I remember one of the things I noticed was just the noise had increased. You start paying attention, you lose your self guidance and the guidance from soul and from source, and you start listening to all these other people. And I was like, on Facebook and whatever social media you're on, there's constantly like people giving away freebies, there's sponsored ads, and you're clicking on all of them and downloading all of these things, and every person says to do something a little bit different, and suddenly you're lost in all of this noise of everybody listening to all these different experts, and none of them are you, and none of them resonate with you, but you're trying all the things because something's got to work. And then at that point I was like, oh, I see what's happening here. I've totally lost my way, and because I'm totally doubting. So I told myself I wasn't going to download any freebies for a year. And that really just brought me back to myself. It brought me back to relying on myself and my inner wisdom and the universal wisdom and the universal guidance to keep me moving forward and get my business back to being my business, not just a business that I happen to be involved in. And yeah, and also, like, what Carrie and Elizabeth said, working with the right mentor, learning things continuously, investing in myself, be it through courses or classes or mentors or coaching or masterminds or whatever it is, or somebody to look after the kids so that I could go do the things that I needed to do. Also continuing to invest in my own healing and, stress relief and all of those other things, and being really connected to my why, coming back to that. Why am I even doing this? Why am I putting myself through all of this? Because of, like Elizabeth said, I have these gifts. I can't not use them to help people. It just doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense in my life is to be able to use my gifts to be of service, to help people, so that, whatever they're going through, these transitions that they're going through, whether it's a business they're building or a life they're rebuilding, to do it faster and easier, and with the support and the encouragement that maybe I didn't have at the beginning when I was doing it all alone. So that's one part of my why, is just that inner knowing and that certainty that this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm meant to do. And the other part is more of my human why, being, I want to be a good role model to my kids. I want to show them that, you go through hard things and you can still be successful and thrive and create something that is entirely your own. You don't have to, follow the mainstream to be successful. You don't have to be a doctor or a lawyer or a pharmacist in order to be successful. You can do what you're gifted with in this life and use that to be successful and abundant and fulfilled and build the life that you want to have.
Yeah, bringing the power back within. It's beautiful. Understanding that you are worth it, that your magic is needed in the world, like everybody says, whether it's by understanding that it's your own journey, by having a clear vision, by owning the time, investing in yourself, but really bringing the power within will keep you motivated. Definitely. I think that from everybody that I've heard answer this question, I think this is what keeps you out of the self-doubt, you know? Don't give all your power away to everybody else and everything else. It starts from inside of us. I will never say this enough. But this brings us into the last question for today that you probably already answered. We're going to go in it again because we never hear when we're starting or when we're growing, we never hear the messages enough. So in your business, what helped you or what is helping you stay focused on your soul-led mission? And how do you ensure that you're remaining aligned, that your purpose is remaining clear, even if life is coming at you? I'm gonna start with Carrie again.
Well, my mission in life is to raise the level of awareness one person at a time by being a conduit of love. And so staying focused on that's really my vision. My vision is to raise the level of awareness in the world. That's my deepest, most burning desire. And so when I stay focused on that, and I come from the energy of that woman who is raising the level of awareness by being a conduit of love, that helps me to stay in the structure that I'm in, to continue to do the work, even if it becomes challenging, right? I put on the energy of the woman who's already doing that, the vision that I've been given, the dream that I've been given. And I believe it's a sacred invitation between me and my higher power, that I am this person. I have been given this very, wonderful purpose. Challenging, yes, but wonderful. And I often think about Rumi was a 13th century poet, and he said in one of his poems, he said, it's as if you've been sent by a king with one purpose. You can tackle 100 purposes or 1,000 purposes, yeah. But if you don't fulfill the one purpose for which you came, it's as if you have done nothing. Well, I don't think I said that exactly right, but you get my idea, is that I don't want to leave this world and not perform my purpose, fulfill it. I know that my whole life up until when I started this work was seeking that purpose. I was not happy because I was trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. I was doing what everybody else was telling me that I should be doing, right? I should go into sales and marketing. I should go into corporate world. I should, not that I'm very grateful for becoming a mother, but you should get married and have children and all these things. And yes, some of it was my purpose, but I really felt like I was, a fish out of water until I stepped into this. And so I know the other side. I know what it is like to not be living on your purpose. And so I don't want to go back to that. And so every day, every moment, and I don't do this perfectly, but every time, I step into that woman who is on purpose, who is raising the level of awareness one person at a time by being a conduit of love. And that is my vision. And so same thing that I share with my clients. What is it that you're being called into? Really, really search your soul. What is it that's calling you into that something more in life? Because that is your purpose. That is your mission. And that's how you get to stay focused, is by putting on that energy. What does that feel like in your body? Feelings are emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. It's energy. It's a frequency. And when you become in alignment with that frequency of what it is that you would love to have, do, give, be, create in your life, then everything that is on that frequency will come into your life because you're in alignment with it. So this is what I teach. This is what I live by every single moment of every single day. I don't do it perfectly because I do have a human journey. And I know that my higher power is teaching me lessons every single day, right? Through that human journey. But coming from the energy of the woman that has that vision and that mission and that purpose, that's how it keeps me focused. That's how I get through challenges. I face every challenge as not as a stop sign, but an opportunity for growth. You know, I recognize that every challenge in life is here for my learning and growth, and I face that. And when I do, and you know, I don't do that perfectly either, but when I recognize that, I get through the challenge so much quicker. I literally will, if I'm facing a challenge in my life or in my business, I will literally speak to the challenge and say, I refuse to have you without getting the learning here. And so when I'm open up to receiving the learning, the challenge, I get through the challenge much, much quicker. And I get the learning. And if I don't get the learning, guess what? It patterns in my life. It continues to do the same thing over and over again until I do get the learning. You know, you got to tell a genius 3 times before they get it. But it's really about, Dominique, it's really about, thank you for this question. It's really keeping focused is about having a vision of, you know, what it is that I would love to have, do, give, be, create in my life. And really, what's the root underlying reason for that? They're the big why. You know, I mean,
7 layers deep, right?
Exactly. When I first started this, I wanted a dream vacation and I wanted a dream house and I wanted a dream car and all these things. And then it was like, no, wait a minute. What's the real reason here? And so I got down to it. And I'm proud to say that I am a woman on a mission to raise a level of awareness, one person at a time, by being a conduit of love.
I don't know where I've heard this before, but be careful of a woman on a mission.
That's right.
Thank you for your answer. Elizabeth, how about you?
Yeah, I loved everything Carrie said, you know, and I resonate with a lot of it. Really, with challenges, they're here to help us grow. Because if we weren't challenged in life, then life would be pretty boring, right? And we wouldn't know the dark without the light, right? And so we don't know the good with the bad. But for me, getting through the challenges really is about staying in neutrality. And instead of giving meaning to everything, and, you know, we get to decide what is good and what is bad and what we like, what we don't like. And so instead of putting meaning to it, just looking at it for what it is and what is this trying to teach me here? How am I to grow through this? How am I to shift through this? Then you can just, it really helps you get through it from this perspective of this is happening for me and not to me, right? And this is happening for my business or, you know, for my higher purpose. And so, you know, my higher all being purpose is to raise the vibration of this world. And really, you know, it sounds really big because it feels really big, but I've had to connect to it on a really deep level, is to save humanity. Because if we don't start raising the vibration and the frequency of this world, humanity won't survive. And so I do that by activating the soul-led mission entrepreneurs who are here to help others as well, because it creates that ripple effect, right? There was studies out in, I can't remember who published it in a book, where there were about 1,000 people who meditated and sent love in Washington, D.C. for 30 days straight. And they sent love to the city, right? To everyone in the city. And they noticed that crime decreased by 25%. So that just shows you how we are all connected. And so if we are all coming from this place of service and love, the more that we can, you know, come from this place, we will raise the vibration of this world, and there will be less crime, there will be less turmoil, and more, you know, peace and happiness. And so that's like one big piece of what keeps me motivated through the challenges, right? That's a huge piece of it, is really connecting to that purpose, or your purpose, on a deep, deep level, like really feel it in your heart. But also coming from that human side of it, like, what do I want to experience in this life for myself and my family, right? Like, what do I want to feel and how do I want to live our lives? And for us, it's really freedom, like freedom to do the things that we want when we want and how we want, and travel and experience all this life has to give for us, right? Like all the beauty in it, the fun and the joy. And yes, sometimes that does require money, right? To be able to do those things. So it's not really the money that we're after, it's the feeling that money gives you, right? And that you're able to, what you're able to use it. It's just a tool. Money is just a tool. So what is that burning desire that you have on a human level? And that's what I learned from the late great Bob Proctor, like, always saying you have to have that burning desire, because if you don't have that burning desire for the achievement or advancement or, your purpose, you're going to stop as soon as you hit that challenge. So when you have that burning desire for something more, so something greater, to feel like this fulfillment in your life and to be able to, want these beautiful things for you, you're going to push through the challenges and go for it, right? And just keep going. You're not going to give up. I don't believe in failure. There's no such thing as failure. It's only feedback. So when things don't go right, and we're putting meaning to it, it's what can we adjust? How can we change? What perspective do we need to change? The failure comes is when you stop. So I just, implore you all, when you hit those challenges or if things are not going the way that you had hoped in your business, look to try to do something different in a different way. And maybe that's taking a new course, hiring a new mentor, or just shifting your perspective, your energy, right? Just figuring out, where do I need to shift in my energy to change my vibration so things can start shifting and changing. But don't give up, because you were given this purpose for a reason and the world needs you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I always say, when you hit a challenge, instead of reacting to it, take 2 steps back and observe it, Like, don't, I think I did learn that from Bob Proctor with different words, but being an observant and the oneness, like you're talking about, like we are all one with it all. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. Yeah, thank you for the answer. Janet, how about you?
I have to admit that a lot of why I do what I do is because I'm purely selfish, because I absolutely love what I do. I love healing, I love channeling, I love coaching, I love guiding, I love supporting, I love being there for other people and truly being of service. And when I'm helping other people, when they feel better, whether that's, they have less pain, or they're less stressed or less overwhelmed, or they're making great strides in their own lives, and I can see all the pieces coming together in their lives, in their businesses, in their families, and everything starting to shift for them, that makes me extraordinarily happy. And so the more people I help, the better it is for me. The more work that I do, the better it is for me. The more ripples we put out there, like Elizabeth said, that comes back to me. So yeah, I love being of service. And so whether we call that being selfish or just being there for other people, but that's what it always comes down to. And I notice, when I go through those lulls of self-doubt, and then the result is fewer clients, and the business starts to fall away a little bit, I start not feeling as good. It's this whole cycle. Like, the more I can do what I'm here to do, the better I feel. And then it raises my vibration, and then the spiral starts working upwards again. So remembering that it's not just a business, that it's a purpose, and that it's, this is why I'm here. And to be good to other people is to be good to myself. Which, not too broadly taken. We still need boundaries. We still need all of that kind of stuff. But when I'm doing what I'm meant to do, I can feel that shift in my soul, in my vibration, and I want to do more. So that really keeps me going. And as well as all of the other whys that Carrie and Elizabeth mentioned, of, just the human things, the other feelings we want to have, the experiences we want to have, the impression for our children, for others around us, all of that, factors in as well. But mostly it's just because, I love what I do and I want to do more of it, and I want to help more people, and I want everybody to feel good so that more people can feel good, because it always ripples out.
Yeah, and when you feel good about what you're doing, and when you're aligned with what you're doing, the energy, that your auric field expands and brings back to you more of that, right? So thank you for being selfish, and just stay there, because it's bringing everybody up. Like Elizabeth, my main purpose in life is to rise the vibration of the earth to save humanity in however way that I can. And so if we can all be more like Janet and like Carrie, see your vision, be selfish about doing what you want, what you love, what really makes you vibrate, it's just going to do the work that it needs to do, and it's going to help everyone. It's going to help you, going to help your family, going to help your social life, and it's going to help your clients. There is no negative into that. And because we're all here doing everything that we love, I would like to go into this. I want you guys to tell the audience, what are you loving right now? How can we work with you? Why would we work with you? Where are we going to reach you? Yeah, you have all the handles up here, but we want to know why we will go and reach you. And we're going to start with Carrie again.
Well, thank you for this opportunity, Dominique. It's been really wonderful, and I just love the collaboration and the community here. I'm really excited. I just launched an introductory program called Free to Flourish. It's a 12-week program where you can ditch the overwhelm, find your passion and purpose, and live a life you absolutely love living. And it's in beta right now. And so I'm offering the beta for $297. It's valued over almost $16,000. And the bonuses alone are almost $10,000. So I'm really looking for women who are wanting to ditch the overwhelm and truly live into their passion and purpose. And they can find that information at www.free2flourish.co. And or they can email me or check out my website. Actually, it's not on the website yet because it's still in beta, but they can reach out to me and I can certainly give them all the information. But I'm really excited. I literally just launched it this week, and I'm only taking a few ladies because it is in beta. So jump on board if you're interested in learning more.
Beautiful. And we're going to put all the handles in the show notes below. Thank you, Carrie.
Yeah, thank you.
Elizabeth, how about you?
Yeah, so I work in multiple different ways with clients. I have one-off sessions where I have an intuitive activation session where it is an intuitive reading, and also you could get custom healing or a custom light language activation. So those are kind of like that's like my introductory section. I also have a monthly membership called Light Up Your Life, where this is for people that just want to be in my energy or get to know me and want access to my activations as well as coaching. There's 2 calls a month, where one is a lesson of some sort, whether it's about spirituality, manifestation, mindset, and we do a light language activation around a certain topic. Sometimes I've done chakra healings in there before. And also there's a call where you get a live hot seat coaching opportunity to, get coached by me. And you also get a monthly intuitive card pull from me with one question. That's my membership. It's a very low cost introductory rate, $55 per month, or you can do the $111 for 3 months, and then you get a free call with me as well. And then I do offer one-on-one custom coaching packages. So all of my one-on-one like packages are very custom based on, you know, what my client is needing in the moment. And I work mostly with those who are, you know, in a soul-led business and they're not getting the results that they want, or, you know, you feel this call or this pull for a higher purpose, and we're going to activate that for you and pull it out and, you know, get you going in your soul-led business. So that's how I work with my clients in that way. And I do healings in there. I do daily healings for my clients, in light language activations and mentorship and manifestation, all those kinds of things. And you know, just if you follow me soon, I'm going to be launching a group program in the next couple months here, where it'll be more of a mastermind, at a lower ticket price for those, you know, kind of like the middle ground, if, you know, the one-on-one is a little bit too intensive for you. So lots of options to work with me. You can go to my website, and that's the best way to get a hold of me, or on Facebook, you can send me a DM.
Beautiful. There is a lot of things going on in your world. And again, you have the handles in the corner, and we'll put the handles in the show note. If you're listening today and you're like, what is light language? Well, light language, if you do not know, it's the language of the soul. Your human doesn't really understand it, but your whole being does. So it does make a difference into the world. When you are listening to the light language, it's a vibration that your whole being does understand. So hopefully this helped if anybody was
And
not
mine is
understanding.
very much a vibration, because some people actually speak like words. Mine is more toning. So it very much is vibrational.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Janet, how about you? What is going on in your world?
Like the other ladies, there's always something going on. So all of the work that I do is one-to-one, because everybody is an individual and everybody needs a little something different. So there's just different facets. So I do some channeling. So when I call myself a soul interpreter, that's what that means, is that I am channeling your soul to answer your questions. So I'm sort of interpreter, translator, whatever you want to call it. If you are struggling to make soul-led decisions, or connect with your soul and really like overcome the head and the ego and the thoughts, and really connect with your soul, you can ask all those questions, and I will tune into your soul and tell you what your soul wants from you, and what next right step is for you, in alignment with what your soul likes. I also do energy healings, Reiki. I have something called universal alignment, which is like a chakra balancing, but I'm also receiving messages from the universe. So it's a nice little combination that everybody seems to love. And then of course there's coaching, which is a loose term, because all of my packages include healing, they include channeling, they include, you know, whatever it is that you're needing. In the moment, there's a little bit of everything involved, including, of course, actual coaching. And then I also have a podcast on the side, which is a passion project. And it's called Phoenix Wisdom. And I am a suicide prevention and awareness advocate. And so that podcast is all about that. It's sharing stories, people who have gone through those dark moments, where they thought they might not want to stay around, but ultimately did, and where they are now living amazing lives, just shining a little bit of light in the darkness and giving people hope and letting them know they're not alone.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. And again, the handles for Janet will be in the show notes below. Ladies, I want to thank you so much for being here today and for bringing light into what sometimes seems like an overwhelming experience. We are all humans living a human experience, but we are a soul in that human envelope. And whatever you're going through right now, if you're starting your business or you're growing your business and you're thinking, I'm not where I need to be, you are. Everything is perfect just the way it is. Don't give up. Trust yourself. Feel in your body, feel your gut, and connect to any of us if you need any help to go through whatever you're going through. And I hope that you found some answers into what Carrie, Elizabeth, and Janet brought today. I hope you found some resilience, that the struggles are not really struggles. They're just one step forward towards what you really, really, really are here to do. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. And I hope to see you soon.